Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. This is the brother Yakanan from the GMS Houston camp, and just a quick lesson, continuing on a point on Revelation 16 and 2, and just getting right into it. Revelation 16 and verse 2, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth. And there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his name. So just focusing on this word sore, this is G1668 Helkos, and it says an ulcer, a wound, especially a wound discharging, or slack a wound, especially a wound producing a discharge or pus, a sore, an ulcer. So here I just I highlighted the word, this phrase here, a wound producing discharge or pus, because this is related to, in Revelation 13:16. This is relating to the MOTB, the micro C hip, the grain of rice that's going to be that's going to be implanted in people's hands that are going to be, slaves in the NWO and whatnot. So this is a wound producing a discharge pus. Says it's thick, milky fluid, and usually indicates a bacterial infection that requires medical attention. It often appears white, yellow, green, or brown, and may be accompanied by a foul odor, increasing pain, redness, swelling, or fever. So this is what's going to be happening to everybody that gets the charagma. Here I also had Helkos. I just looked at that in the on the Strongs. So here I got a sepsis from RFID implant, this is not medical information or anything like that. Just looking at the scriptures and seeing what it just telling the truth. So sepsis from RFID implant. It says it's rare but serious risk, generally resulting from infection at the insertion site, commonly caused by Staphylococcus, which I believe that's let me see what that is. S. aureus, or Staphylococcus, is a common bacterium that lives harmlessly on the skin and in the nose of many people, but can cause a wide range of infections, from mild skin issues like boils to severe life-threatening illnesses like pneumonia, bloodstream infections, sepsis, and bone infections, especially if it enters the body through a cut or a wound. So this is how it's gonna, how you're gonna get in part of it. You're gonna get that charagma delivered by the karax. That karax is gonna pierce your skin, and not only are you gonna have the grapho is gonna have all your information in it, but it's also gonna carry, what you're gonna get these noisome and grievous sores from. So you can get sepsis, all kinds of things. These are terrible things. Let me see here. And this is just a real quick lesson. I put in here ulcers from RFID implant. And it said, ulcers on there, on the thing. So ulcers and chronic infections are documented, albeit rare. Risk associated with human RFID microchip implants, typically stemming from foreign body reactions or poor sterilization during insertion. Right. So you're not even supposed to put anything in your body like that at all. Like no cuttings in your flesh. So here it says, one of the case reports, it says a 26-year-old man experienced a 26-year-old man experienced a persistent long-term infection, secretion of fluid and pus, is not from an RFID NFC implant in his finger, which was later diagnosed as a foreign body reaction requiring surgical removal and antibiotic treatment. So, looking at the scriptures, what it's saying, and then looking at this, you got a case report. That's from what, NIHH or something. So inflammation. Biofilm formation. Bacteria, particularly Staphylococcus aureus, can form a biofilm on the surface of implanted material. That's what I was just looking at. The whole thing, like, this is a whole nother. This is it's referencing the same thing. It's like that's been referenced on the other tabs I was looking at. It says particularly Staphylococcus aureus can form a biofilm on the surface of the implanted material, making infections difficult to treat without removing the C-hip. So, and really, once you got that in there, like it says, once you got that in there, you're not really going to be able to. You're not going to get it out. You're going to have to have surgery to get it out. And even then, once you take it, that's it. Inflammation, the body may treat the chip or the C-hip as non-self, leading to a buildup of scar tissue or fibrous capsulation around the implant. So, hey man, like that. That's it's forming scar tissue. Like, scar tissue is like pretty much your muscles that hardens. So the tissue around where the implant or the charagma is going to be, it's going to harden and it's going to get inflamed, and you can't get to it. That tissue, scar tissue is you can't just get to it. And then it's already in your hand, where the muscles in between your index finger and your thumb, that's real thin, dense muscles. So this is I put in here cancer from RFID. It says studies in laboratory animals, mice and rats, have shown that radio frequency ID, so you see the word implants, can cause cancer, specifically subcutaneous sarcomas, at the site of implantation. These findings, which surfaced primarily between 1996 and 2006, so this is well over 20 years, 30 years. They've been working on this for a long time. And they've probably been known about that before 96. Says these findings, which surfaced primarily between 1996 and 2006, indicated that between 1% and 10% of test animals develop such tumors. And then I have on the next one, I'm not going to go all into this, but it's showing that they tested on animals, and what that guy had, actually that test was done before this guy. So this what here came first. They already tested it on animals. And they figured out, okay, this is what it does. Then they tested on this dude. So that's what it does. Okay. When you're doing experiments and stuff like that, you're doing control studies. You're gonna test on these subjects, see what the outcome is, and you're gonna do the same test on another batch and see how it turns out. You might change some variables here or there. Like the variable change would be instead of animals, you're using a man. See how it affects them. But they usually use mice and whatnot. I guess because they're not. I guess they're like the closest. Whatever they do to them, pretty much they can do to us. And they're easy to test on. Mice, shoot. You could just breed them. You're never gonna run out of them. Fucking devil. Uh, Here I had soft tissue sarcoma, RFID implants. Matter of fact, let me look at this real quick because I think I had. Okay, no, I don't have it. So here, you see the headline right there. I'm not even gonna go to the thing. This is from 2007. And shoot, I'll just read that first line, and that's from NBC. It says a series of, uh, you know, veterinary toxicology studies dating into the mid 90s stated that chip implants had induced malignant tumors in some lab mice and rats. So the same thing. Let me see here. Let's see. I think here. I just had the tab open, but now I gotta. Here we go. Soft tissue sarcoma is a rare malignant tumor that develops in connective tissue such as muscles, fat, nerves, tendons, and blood vessels. They can occur anywhere in the body, but are most common in the limbs, trunks, and abdomen. A painless growing lump is a primary symptom, and treatments usually involve surgery combined with radiation. So let me see here, because I had, like, you kind of get an idea of like where and how it can grow. It can grow anywhere. See, it's just a cancerous growth. See right there, the dude has it on his arm. But it's gonna have stuff like that around, your hand, your head, wherever you get it. You're gonna start getting these. Ooh, that looks terrible. But anyway, hey, Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. Shalom.